Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, welcome to another episode of Oilers After Dark. This is episode 117. Kings, Oilers, Round 1, full deep dive, Round 1 preview. In this video, we will talk about the Kings and the Oilers overall record, the Kings and the Oilers head-to-head record, when the Kings won, when the Oilers won, when the games are, the series predictions, the X factors, the wild cards, the underrated, the star, the bold predictions, and also the Kings X factors. All that and more in this episode of Oilers After Dark, brought to you by the Oilers After Dark crew and myself, Matt. Real Oiler fans. Let's start off with an easy one, shall we? Just a very little easy one here. The schedule. Since we all know when the schedule's going to be. It all starts on Monday. Monday. Get your popcorn ready, kids. So the schedule starts Monday in Edmonton. And then we move on to Game 2, which is on Wednesday, also in Edmonton. Game 3 is on Friday in LA. Game 4 is on Sunday in LA. And then 2 days later, Game 5 is on Tuesday inside Edmonton. And then this is where it gets a little convoluted because of the Lakers situation, the Clippers situation. It's tentatively set for Saturday. So we play Tuesday, we get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. We play Saturday, 3 full days off for Game 5 in LA. If the Lakers and the Clippers are still playing, that is, could change to a Thursday game, a Friday game. But then again, on Game 7, if there is a Game 7, it will be Monday, May 1st in Edmonton. Let's hope that if it gets there, things are quieted. If it gets there, I am hoping it does not get there, to be completely 100% honest with you, because that would be tough. That would be a rough pill to swallow. Now, in this video, like I said, I'm going to go through a bunch of things. First, we're going to go through the Kings overall record because they were the lower seed team. They were the third place team in the Pacific. They had 47 wins, 25 losses, 10 points. Loser overtime points is what I call them, but they are called OTLs. I call them lots. Loser overtime points for 104 total. The Oilers, which finished second in the Pacific, had 50 wins, 23 losses, and 9 loser overtime points for a total of 109 points. Head-to-head, they were both 2-2. Now, this is where I'm going to dive in a little deeper and explain to you why I've picked the Oilers in 5 games to beat the Kings. And I know Kings fans aren't going to like this, and I know some of you are on my stream, on my subscription list, and I appreciate you guys. I really do. But here's why I think this isn't going to last. So when we played head-to-head, the Kings won in November 10th. And they won 3-1. Okay, cool, great gravy, you guys. You guys whooped us. 3-1. And then the last game you beat us was January 9th. And we all, as Oiler fans, remember January 9th. That was the shellacking of shellackings. That was, we're taking your lunch money and your girlfriend. And there is not a damn thing you can do about it. That was the lowest point for the Oilers season, and I'll be completely honest with you. That was my lowest point this season, cheering on the Oilers, was that game. That game changed a lot. I think that game opened up a lot of the Oilers inside that locker room's eyes and said, "Dumb. This is unacceptable. This cannot happen again." And it didn't. That loss sparked the Oilers. That loss pissed off the Oilers and pissed off the fan base. I'll be honest, the Kings embarrassed the Oilers on January 9th. embarrassed them. Now, we move forward, calendar turns, March 30th, trade deadline's good and gone. We got our players we wanted. We got rid of the player we needed to get rid of. Unfortunately, Barry was a casualty of war, and he had to go to. March 30th, shutout, 2-0. Oilers win. April 4th, again, Oilers win. What was the difference? Ekholm, better structured defense, willingness to adapt to all situations of the game. That's what it is. It was Ekholm and willingness to adapt to everything. You can say Fiala was hurt. You can say Doughty wasn't playing his best. You can say whatever you want to say. It's not going to matter. So we're going to move on to the Kings' X Factors first, because I think it's important to talk about. The X Factors for the Kings to win this series. Drew Doughty. Doughty, in my eyes, has to be shut down defense. He needs to focus more on shutting down the McDavid, the Draisaitl, the Kane, the Hyman, the yachts, the execs. And then the second X Factor, I feel, is going to be Fiala. Was Fiala that big of a difference for the Kings when they were playing well and on a tear and winning games? And then he was hurt. Him coming back going to be that big of an X Factor difference that it makes their team better, slots the players top to bottom where they need to be slotted? I personally think he is a big X Factor, and he's a big difference for the Kings. He just brings them that Ulf Malone, that little jam up the middle that they need. My third of four X Factors for the Kings to win this series is Korpisalo. He needs to find something. Yes, I get when he came to the Kings, he went on a really good tear. But they weren't playing good teams at good times. They were playing teams off back-to-backs, or 4-6, or 3-4, which is great. You got to take advantage of that in the schedule. You got to win those games. Every team gets those. But they weren't strong teams, and Korpisalo and the Kings took advantage of that, which is kudos to you, Korpisalo. You came in a tough time. You got traded for Quick, and then Quick was a big baby in Columbus and has to get traded to Vegas. But that's a story for a different time, for story time in one of my streams. If Vegas ends up beating Winnipeg, that'll be a discussion we can have. Now, the fourth, and I think maybe the tied-in factor, is how much are the refs going to let go? And yes, basic Oiler fan bitching about the refs. But let's be completely honest. The refs put their whistles away in the playoffs, which is great if you do it for both sides. It's amazing to watch hockey when the whistles are put away the entire time. Both teams are jabbing, both teams are hooking, both teams are grabbing, water skiing, eye gouging, punching you in the face behind the play. Both teams are doing perfect, great. Let them play on. It's hockey. It's playoff hockey. Let's freaking go. But when one team does it, and it's blatant that the one team does it, and they get away with it the first time, they get away with it the second time, they get away with it the third time, and then the other team does it one time, little hook on the hands, and the arm goes up. That's where I got a problem, and it seems come playoff time, American teams get the benefit of the doubt a lot of time against Canadian teams. It's not just Oilers specific, it's not just LA specific. It is league-wide. When an American team plays a Canadian team, they get the majority of the calls. I don't know why. Could be due to escrow, more Canadian teams that make it past, the players lose more money. I don't know. But let's hope the refs call this series great. Call what needs to be called. If it's blatant, call it. If it's iffy-washy, let it go. Let the players decide. Let them fight. If there's a hit that a player deems dirty, whether it's clean, if some guy named Yamamoto is skating down the middle of the ice with his head down and Doughty steps up and just boom, railroads the freaking crap out of him, let Kane jump in and those two guys go. Let the players police the game. Don't jump in and then have 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 with two guys sitting in the box that are really mad at each other. They get out, they're going to fight anyway. Let it happen. If somebody gets hit, tattoo to the clean hit, and the player decides to stick up for his teammate, let the fighting go. I want to see some more fighting in these playoffs. I'm a big proponent of brutality. And that's one thing I do like about the Kings defense is they are brutal. Except if your name is Mikey Anderson, you, sir, are a dirty douchebag. And you're the main reason why the Oilers didn't get past Colorado. I really hope you may not be playing too much this series. If you are, keep your head up. I hear 2-9's got a vengeance out for you. But we digress and we go into our series predictions. BW, his series predictions, Oilers in 6. Mine are Oilers in 5. Like I said, I think the Oilers are going to come out strong in Game 1. It'll be a close game. I'm predicting a 4-2 game. Game 2, much the same, except this game could go into overtime. Oilers win that. We go to LA for Game 3. LA wants payback. They're going to get it in Game 3. It'll be a 2-1 series. Then we move on to Sunday Game 4. The Oilers are not shell-shocked anymore. They're in the facility of LA. They like it. They like playing in warm summer. They win a blowout game. Come back to Edmonton on Game 5. We don't want Game 6 on Saturday, so we win it at home in Edmonton. How you doing? We're on to round 2. X Factors. BW's X Factor is Hyman. Obvious reasons. Hyman has the ability to change the game in the power play. He has the ability to change the game 5-on-5. I think he has the ability to kind of control play by himself, but he just gets to play with either Draisaitl or McDavid on most nights. It's going to be a great thing to see him going up and down the wing in playoffs being his mucky little self. I like his game style. I like what his intensity is. The rest of the Oilers will match that intensity. They have to, or they know it'll be a quick playoffs. And if the Oilers are out in round 1, that's not good. No changes are coming. We're not the Maple Leafs. We are not the Toronto Maple Leafs. We are not going to be firing coaches and firing GMs and trading half a roster, because this roster is built to last. This roster is built not for this year, not just for next year, not just for the year after that, the year after that. This roster is built for maybe a 5-6 year run. You heard it here first. My X Factor is Hopkins. He is the heart and soul. He is the longevity guy of the Oilers. He's been here for 12 years. He's lived through the decade of darkness. Yes, it's a real thing. The Oilers were bad for about a decade, and almost decade and a couple years. They were shit on a shingle, as some people say in Boston. So I think Hopkins is going to have a big series. I think he's going to be an X Factor. He's on the power play. He does do PK, and he does do 5-on-5. Whether he's 5-on-5 third line winning faceoffs on his own, or is he up with Draisaitl, McDavid, you can slot this kid anywhere, and he will play. Moving on to the wild card player. The wild card player for BW is Foegele. Warren Foegele has the ability to do things. Warren Foegele has the ability to adapt to the game situation, has the ability to use his body, his size to good strength. He also has the ability to win you a puck battle, chip in a goal or two, help you out on the power play unit number 2 if needed, also kills penalties. My X Factor is Clem Costin. Yes, Mikey Anderson, Clem Costin. Be aware when 2-1 is on the ice. 2-1 for the Edmonton Oilers will hit any defenseman that has the puck and moves. The Oilers didn't do enough hitting in round 1 last year, and I think that's what led to 7-game series. It wasn't pretty for the Oilers most of that series, but they found ways to win games that they needed to win. You're not going to see last year's playoffs from this Oilers team. Like, everybody that I've talked to in these last couple of days are like, oh, well, the only way the Oilers are winning is if they outscore their problems. They're going to need to score 6-7 goals a game in the playoffs. No, they're not. This Oilers team knows how to win now, winning 2-1, 3-1, 1-0, 3-2. They're finding ways to keeping goals against down while not needing to score a plethora of goals themselves to win. And that's scary for the rest of the league, that they've figured out how to play the defensive side. Is it Ekholm coming in with his wisdom and knowledge and saying, hey, we need to figure out something in this city. I've seen you guys play defense. You freaking suck at it. Here's how to change it. Just little tweaks, little minute plays. Instead of the defensemen and the forwards having so much gap, let's shorten the gap. Let's have that forward come back. Let's have that center play 10 feet in front of us instead of 20 feet in front of us. Let's have the D to D pass to each other more. Let's use our outlets. Let's use our brain. If there's no pass up the ice, hold on to it. Relax. Slow the play down. Go behind the net. Then open up the ice. Use your full vision and go. I've seen that team. I've seen this Oilers team do that, and it's amazing that they've done that. I'm glad they've adapted. They've also played a different style of defense. Beginning of the year, they played, I don't want to call it a 3-2 zone or a 2-1-3 zone or a 3-1-1 zone. They played a zone at the beginning of the year. It was bad. It didn't work. They've gone to more of a man-to-man in the defensive zone, and I like that. Man-to-man in the NHL works. You bring a guy with you in the zone, that's your guy. From the time the puck enters the zone, you've got him. So let's say Fiala has the puck and you're Desharnais. As soon as Fiala has the puck and he enters the zone and you've targeted, that's your man, you're with him the entire time that puck is in the zone. You don't leave him. You stick check him. You body check him. You just make life for him miserable. And you've got to hope. Yes, man-to-man is you're doing your job on your man. Now it's up to the rest of the four guys on the ice to do their job. To catch a guy, shadow a guy, keep everything to the outside, steal a puck, intercept the puck, chip and change. That's how the Oilers have to play. That's how the Oilers have played. That's how they have to play to beat LA. It's not rocket science, just some people and some teams do it better than others. A la Tampa Bay, Boston, Carolina. Vegas plays that style too. It works. I don't know why it took so long for the Oilers to figure it out. Maybe they're just too young and too inexperienced. And let's be honest, this Oilers defense is young and is inexperienced. Now we move on to the underrated, underappreciated. Here's where I get what BW's trying to say here, and I understand it. But he has Hopkins as underrated. Maybe by people on the outside of the organization looking in, they don't understand how he's a 100-point scorer, how he's doing so much, when considerably, for the most part, he ran his own line, the third line. He got a lot of points on the power play. Yeah, he got power play cookies. But hey, everybody and every team gets power play cookies. Look at Ovechkin. Look at Stamkos. McKinnon. Kopitar in LA, that's how he gets the majority of his points. Fiala, Iafallo, like those guys get power play cookies. Power play cookies are important too, and they matter. Hopkins is kind of an underrated guy because he does everything so well, but because we have superstars in Edmonton named McDavid and Draisaitl and Hyman and Kane and Nurse and now Bouchard and Ekholm. We have 7 to 8 guys that are above him on the praise depth chart. That he gets lost in the shuffle, and people forget he's actually a really good player. A solid two-way player who wins face-offs. Important in the series. I honestly believe whoever controls the face-off dot will win this series. If you can win the face-offs every night, I will be preaching this every night, so please tune into every stream. We're starting Monday at 8 p.m. on Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific for all you Kings fans. I hope to see some of you there. We love bantering with you guys. It's amazing fun. I think the face-off dot is going to be hugely important for both teams to win this series. My underrated player is Yamamoto. Underrated because he's so undersized and he doesn't quite have the skill level to be on the top line, but he is skillful enough to be on the top line, if you know what I mean. It's just his size does worry me. His concussion issues do worry me. But if he gets injured, the Oilers have next man up mentality in Shore and Derek Ryan and Fogle that can come up, like not come up to the top line, but push someone up to the top line to have someone play the bottom line. It's going to be interesting to see who sits, who plays in Game 1. Also, Dylan Holloway could be up with the Oilers in Round 1. Me, personally, I think he's going to be up once the Condors are eliminated from playoffs. That's kind of a big thing, too, is the Oilers are hoping to have Holloway and Nemo Lineman and a few others for the playoff run for Day 1. But with the Condors making the playoffs in the last week, I mean like the last week of the playoffs, that kind of threw a damper in the plans because now Holloway's going to play round one with the Condors, so will Niemelainen. Now the star player that we have to watch for from BW, which is Braden, for anybody who knows, if you've seen him in chat, he does type a lot. It is him typing. He's not a robot. He likes to engage. He likes to be active, and I appreciate that freaking hell out of the guy. Draisaitl. His star player is Draisaitl for obvious reasons. It's Leon freaking amazing Draisaitl. It's the Deutschland Dangler himself. And I've got Kane. Need I say more? Like I believe Kane will be the biggest X factor in this series. He does everything. He hits, he can score, he can get assists. Had he not been injured for 41 games, 41 games, I think he could have been a 50-goal scorer and a 110-point player. I honestly do believe that wholeheartedly. The Oilers could have had another 50-goal scorer and another 100-point player had he been 100% healthy all year. Look out for him to have a really big year next year. Oh yeah, Oilers have him for 6 more years. Bold predictions. Now this is off the wall, off the cuff. You're out to left field. You're out to center field. If you're a Blue Jay fan, where Kiermaier plays the outfield so beautifully, by the way. I'm loving what the Blue Jays are doing this season. I do want to do a live stream of the Blue Jays. Just haven't found the time yet while they play. BW has Holloway being in the top 9 role and being there solidified, meaning he's there in maybe 6th role, like in the second line, or up there in the 6, 7, 8, 9 role, not playing on the fringe 3rd line or 4th line. And I understand that. I get that. He has to earn it, obviously. And his play before he was sent down due to cap issues, and then ultimately got hurt in the AHL, showed that he can be a top 9 role player. And I really hope he gets back to that. My bold prediction, and I don't think it's that bold, is Bukestad. Solid all-around Bukestad. I mean PK, I mean face-offs, I mean mucker, I mean grinder, I mean in your face, shut your mouth, don't talk to me, don't even try and intimidate my teammates, I will punch you. Bukestad needs to be that guy for the Oilers, and I think he will be. I think he's got a lot to prove playing in Arizona last couple of years. I think he could be the biggest reason the Oilers do get past LA because he's on the 3rd line now. He's not a top 2 guy, and I honestly full-heartedly believe that this series can be won and will be won by the 3rd and 4th line, depth scoring, goaltending. I don't think LA has the scoring depth the Oilers do, and I don't think they have the goaltending the Oilers do. Not to say Korpisalo is a bad goalie. He's not. He has great numbers to prove. He's a really good goalie. I just think Skinner's on another level right now. And again, if Skinner falters, I think Campbell has the wherewithal and the pedigree to get out of whatever's in his head and just say, you know what, this is playoffs. It's a different animal. So again, I have the Oilers winning in 5. BW has the Oilers winning in 6. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Honestly, I want to hear your thoughts. If you're a Kings fan, tell me I'm a Looney Tune. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm talking about my ass, and these are the reasons why I'm an idiot. I'm all for it. Like, I love hearing from other fan bases' opinions. As you've seen in some of the comments in my previous video, people are saying, why do I not have Boston going past round 2? Am I an idiot that thinks that Vegas is going to be losing to Winnipeg? And I gave my various reasons in the reply why. So like I said, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know it is one of the longer ones, but this is like in-depth, and I will go in-depth in game by game after it happens. Like I said, Monday, game 1. Wednesday, game 2. Friday, game 3. Sunday, game 4. Tuesday, game 5. Saturday, game 6. And game 7 on Monday, May 1st. It's going to be a game every other day, and I'm all about it. So for everybody here behind the scenes at Oilers After Dark that helps me do the pictures and what helps me mod on the channel. My name is Matt. Please comment, share your thoughts. Let's have a little banter going. Come join the live stream. If you're a Kings fan, if you're an Oilers fan, or if you hate the Oilers and just want to pick on me for being an Oilers fan and my predictions, keep it civil, keep it clean, but let's chat. I'm all about chatting. My name is Matt for Oilers After Dark. That's it. That's all I got for now. Excuse me. We will see you on Monday. There's just a little graphic there showing you everything that I just talked about and went through in a nice little tidy picture. Like I said, thank you to BW for putting the pictures together. It's going to be fun, guys. It is going to be a whirlwind of a series. It may be over quick. It may be one of those 7 gamers classics that the Oilers seem to like having in round 1 against teams. But we'll see. You don't know until you know. Go Oilers go. This has been a video brought to you by Oilers After Dark. Real Oilers talk for the real fan.